Hey guys, today I'm going to show you one of my favorite plants. I like to call it the flamethrower plant. The flamethrower plant is better known by its actual name, the sawtooth palmetto. It's called the sawtooth palmetto because if you look at one of its stalks very closely, it's covered in little saw blade teeth. The sawtooth palmetto bears a striking resemblance to its big brother, the cabbage palm, which also happens to be the state tree of Florida. You can tell the two apart because sawtooth palmettos are usually much smaller than cabbage palms. But when a cabbage palm is small, sometimes they're hard to tell apart. The best thing to do is look at the point where the stem meets the head of the frond. On a cabbage palm, it's shaped like a spear. On a sawtooth palmetto, it's flat, it's squared off. For the good stuff. The sawtooth palmetto is so cool because it's actively engaged in an arms race, an evolutionary war with other trees and plants around it. Sawtooth palmettos are really short, much shorter than the other trees around them. All trees, all plants, need to see the sun and able to photosynthesize. Because they're so short, they often get blocked out by much larger, bushier plants. Short size, sawtooth palmettos have tiny pockets of oil inside of their stems. If you've ever thrown a palmetto frond on a fire, you hear it go pop, 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 pop. That's because when those pockets of oil catch on fire, they shoot little fireballs all over. The goal is to catch the rest of the forest on fire, burning down all of the tall trees, and then keeping all of the sunlight for itself. What about the sawtooth palmetto? Won't it die too? The palmetto's fronds will burn up in the inferno, but it has another trick up its sleeve. If you look at the palmetto, the only part that seems to be missing is the trunk. That's because the trunk is usually underground. Here's a trunk that's been a little bit exposed. It's not all the way buried underground. So when the fire rolls through, all the fronds will burn up in the blaze, leaving the trunk unscathed underground. Once all the bigger trees are burned up, it simply shoots up new fronds, and it's back in business. Plants that commonly grow around palmettos, like these pine trees, often have tricks as well to prevent themselves from succumbing to the palmetto's murderous ways. Pine trees oftentimes will grow underground until their root ball is very, very large. Once it's big enough to support a full tree, the tree will then shoot up above the level where the palmettos can burn them up. Also, if you look at these pine trees, some species of pine trees do something called self-pruning. They'll drop any branches that are growing too close to the ground. Like this one here only has branches growing halfway up the tree. That way it's harder for the palmettos to catch them on fire. That's why in nature, sawtooth palmettos are usually found growing all by themselves. If there are other plants growing around them, we know that humans have been putting out the fires that the palmettos have started over the years. I think we can all learn a powerful lesson from this. If you murder things, no one wants to be your friend.